Hello everyone, it is me, Andy Wilkins. I am back here on my YouTube channel. Sorry it's been a long time, but I'm back here today with a new video idea. Who's that may know, I'm a bit of a massive Doctor Who fan, so I'm going to be going through some opinions that I'm going to be reading out on my phone from a Instagram account called Doctor Who Debate Page. Their link will be in the description, the bio, whatever you want to call it. Please note, these are all my opinions, and I apologise if I babble on too much at all. This is just my first chance at getting back into the YouTube stuff again. No disrespect here, but lockdown started to take a bit of a toll on me, and as a result I'm going back into watching Doctor Who a lot more again, so you know, not that's a problem. So the first opinion, 9 isn't a good Doctor. I disagree with this quite easily. Seriously, I actually like the 9th Doctor. Christopher Eccleston, absolutely superb actor. Still doing a very good job in acting from what I know these days. Just in general, I actually wish we'd had a series 2 with him, in fairness. There's just something, I don't mean it harshly, when I weigh series 1 with series 2, I look at series 1 and I think that is the superior season or series, whatever you want to call it, over series 2. And I know in a way David Tennant's era doesn't really start to kick off properly well until about series 3, but you look at series 2, it's very space orientated, it's very much, you know, some of the episodes are good, don't get me wrong, but you know, you have, like, don't get me wrong, you have some good two-parters in series 2, like The Rise of the Cybermen, The Impossible Planet, and obviously the finale, Doomsday and Army of Ghosts. But you know what? I prefer Series 1, and that's all down to the fact that the 9th Doctor is just so fantastic. In that sort of sense that he comes across as this hardened veteran who had come through from the Time War. And it was just fantastic. But yeah, I actually think 9 is one of the best Doctors. However, what lets him down for me is that we don't have a second season. We didn't get a second season. But you know what? You know, I still look at his episodes and I think I can still watch any of his episodes and go, you know what? They are still corkers, even 15 years on. So yeah, that's that really. 11 is out of character in Series 7. Again, I disagree with this. I don't actually agree that 11 is out of character, down to a few things. His story arc with Amy and Rory ends perfectly well. In a way, I wish what they had done with Series 7 is that Series 7 Part 1 was Series 7, and then obviously add the Christmas special, The Snowman, to it. And then when it comes to Series 7 Part 2, they had made that into Series 8. Because there is a massive fundamental change from Series 7 Part 1 compared to Series 7 Part 2 in so many ways. And that's partly down to the fact that the Amy Pond and Rory stuff ended at the end of episode 5 of Series 7 Part 1. And then, lo and behold, when you come into Series 7 Part 2 with the Bells of St. John, the Doctor in himself, in 11, Matt Smith, it's a very different approach. You see this Doctor who has taken the time to mourn Amy and Rory's departure, but he's now out and about, he's now back travelling once more, being the madman that he is in a way. You know, the majestic tale of the majestic Time Lord that he is. Especially with Clara around, who, in my opinion, if you compare Clara with Amy and Rory, Clara is a massive like wave of fresh air that the show needed, and I really cannot emphasise that enough. So in a way, I would argue 11 isn't out of character. It's more that his character development developed so well over the course of a year, and it is so noticeable, and it works more than anything, because he'd gone from being this sort of quirky guy in Series 5, Series 6, even Series 7 Part 1, and then as much as you see him get really serious in parts of Series 5, Series 6, especially towards the end of his run, he gets a little bit sort of, I've done things in the past that I shouldn't have done. He becomes a bit more remembering of his past. He becomes a lot more reminiscent of his past, and I think that has to be I think personally that has to be applauded, because if you look at, for example, David Tennant's run, David Tennant was very much, he would run, he would continue walking away when everyone else is no longer there. And you notice that, you know, the fact that, yeah, don't get me wrong, you know, End of Time Part 2 sort of proves that wrong, that he's still looking out for his companions. You know, and you could almost say in a way that Matt Smith is again similar to David Tennant in the way that, you know, when they're done with what they've got to do, they do run off back into the TARDIS. But it's very much a situation that Matt Smith's direction as the 11th Doctor is a very good one. And personally for me, he takes the time to reminisce, he takes the time to remember those who have fallen for him, those who have fallen to help him, you know, things like that. If you don't like the Timeless Child storyline, you're closed-minded. I didn't like the Timeless Child, partly because of the retcon. Everything else about it was great. I cannot dispute it whatsoever. I liked how crazy the Master got. You know, how in a way you felt that Graham, Ryan and Yaz, they weren't going to get out of the situation alive. And I also liked in a way how dark Jodie's Doctor got. Because to me, I like it when you have a Doctor that is very dark-natured, very serious in their approach. And this is the thing, this is part of the reason why I like the Waters of Mars. This is part of the reason why I like Matt Smith's incarnation in The Snowmen. This is also why I like the 12th Doctor so much, because their approaches that when they go very serious and dark, on whoever their threat is, I like it. And I feel in a way with Jodie in particular, we saw so much of this happy clappy side to her in series 11. We barely saw any dark parts to her that made me think, I'd like to know what she's like when serious. And then, lo and behold, we have series 12 come along, and she starts to show the seriousness, which is key, which is, important, which is great. So ultimately for me, I don't agree with the whole Timeless Child stuff, that Jodie is the Timeless Child in a way. I don't agree with it. However, what I do agree with is that there could have been that potential for the Master to be the Timeless Child, in the fact that he could be this thing that he despises. And yes, that would mean ultimately the Doctor has to seek more regenerations, when they come to the end of their regeneration life cycle. But it just would have made more sense for the Master to be this prodigy that the Time Lords had tricked, manipulated, had tested upon. Because, look at the way, for those who have watched Doctor Who, The End of Time Part 2, you see how the drumming, for example, in John Simm's incarnation of the Master, how that drumming, and he's like, you made me like this and whatnot. It was fantastic. It was well done. With Sacha Dhawan's incarnation, you could have him have some sort of mental defect inside his brain, inside his head, which makes him go all insane, which explains for the insanity, which explains for that hatred he has. However, at the same time, I don't know why you had to make the Doctor into the Timeless Child. It just does not make sense in that sense. Yes, it does effectively mean Doctor Who can continue forevermore, and it means Big Finish Productions can do so much origin stuff, it's unbelievable. Much as I have accepted the retconning, I do personally hope, and I apologise if this comes across as nasty, but I hope in a few years' time that could be completely retconned by some other showrunner, which would be perfect for me. With Doctor Who and continuity, everything goes up in the air anyway. Just taking the TV movie, the 8th Doctor says that his mother was human, so that makes him half human. That continuity, that canon, has gone completely out of the ballpark already. So in fairness, it wouldn't surprise me if, say, 5 years' time, the whole Timeless Child stuff gets retconned, and it actually turns out it was the Master, because he's trying to play tricks to destroy the Doctor, or to do this or to do that. Anything's possible. We've got to remember as well, Stephen Moffat wrote the whole of Series 5 only to basically rewrite it all at the end of Series 5 when the Doctor goes back in time. To stop when he gets the TARDIS to explode, or whatever it was that happens, and it's been a long time since I last watched that series finale, but it happened at the end of the day. Doctor Who and continuity doesn't really go together. It goes together sometimes, it doesn't really go together some other times. It's a weird one in that sense. I love to listen to Doctor Who music instrumentals. They are such beautiful pieces, and I feel like they should get more recognition for the work done on it. Yeah, I massively agree with that confession or debate, what you would call it. I love the instrumentals that Doctor Who does, especially the Murray Gold era. I've not really got to just with listening to the Segun Akinola stuff. You know, that's nothing personal. That's just, you know, I hadn't been able to find it. But yeah, definitely the whole Murray Gold works that he did was just phenomenal. You know, he created some great stuff like the Majestic Tale. You know, the Madman in a Box. I'm trying to think what else. Val de Sem. He did some great stuff, Murray Gold. And you know what? I hope to God he returns back one day. I really do hope that he returns one day to the show and he creates some more fantastic pieces, because I don't mean it harshly, he was the longest serving person in that production team, basically, in regards to the whole creation of it. I know obviously Stephen Moffat had been around since 2005, but Murray Gold was literally having a massive part in how the show operated. You know, everything from the instrumentals, you know, like the music that he uses at the end of Doomsday is just so powerful. The stuff he uses at the time of the Doctor is just phenomenal. You know, the stuff he uses in Twice Upon a Time is just as fantastic. Yeah, don't get me wrong, especially in his latter years, Murray Gold did start to reuse stuff, especially in the Matt Smith era. It's noticeable in the Peter Capaldi era, but it works. You know, I do personally agree that the instrumentals should get a lot more credit, because they do carry such a key part. The Rings of Akaten music, the long song that happened in Series 7, that is one of the most amazing instrumentals I have ever heard. So, yeah, definitely, I do think, in a way, if possible, Doctor Who's instrumentals should get a lot more credit, because they are some fantastic pieces of work. And in a way, they deserve more recognition than they get. And I know, obviously, they're not going to exactly be BBC Radio 1, but, you know, just a bit of mainstream recognition would be fantastic, I feel, personally. So, yeah. Now is the time that I'm going to talk about the direction of the channel. So, as you may or may not know, I've not really been posting much on this channel over the last couple of months, years, of being truthfully honest. I barely post things that I've done at university or college. Things are hopefully going to be changing a bit. I'm looking to get back onto the YouTube scene. I've had, thankfully, at university last year, I had a bit of a sort of brainwave with ideas, especially now I'm in lockdown. Well, I'm still in lockdown with, you know, like the rest of the UK is. I'm looking at getting back into seeing what I can and can't do with the whole YouTube stuff, because, you know, I do enjoy watching YouTube, and ideally, if I can, I want to get back into the whole content creating stuff if possible. So yeah, that's going to take a bit of time, but please bear with me. Picture of this channel, I don't know what I literally don't know what I'm going to be posting from one week to the next. I don't even know whenabouts I'm going to be uploading things. So I do apologise if you're expecting new and regular content every week. I wanted to give this a little bit of a different sort of try, because I'm a massive Doctor Who fan, like anyone knows. So it's a little bit for me, you know, I was trying this out, seeing what I can and can't do, seeing what I can and can't achieve. If you've enjoyed it, please smash a like, please subscribe, notification bell on, and comment if you agree with me or not. You know, the options are there, really. Obviously, you know, I want to get back into posting a lot more. When I get back, hopefully I'll be back at university September, October time. I really cannot wait. But yeah, definitely. The aim is to start posting a bit more. Yeah, what you're going to get from this channel is going to be a bit of a weird one, because I'm going to be posting stuff about football. I'm going to be posting stuff about Doctor Who. I'm going to be posting stuff about, realistically, anything that comes into my mind, because I've got a lot of interests, I've got a lot of hobbies, but seriously, so literally, might talk about stuff like that, Star Wars content, if anyone wants it, could potentially look at posting that sort of stuff. But realistically, yeah, I'll see how things go. As always, thank you ever so much for watching, folks. Really do appreciate the support. And yeah, I think that's it, really. And if you've enjoyed more of this sort of confession, sort of debate sort of stuff, again, please let me know. All support is appreciated. So yeah, thank you very much, folks, and see you soon. Bye bye.